This conference will now be recorded.
There is an announcement that we don't have session on upcoming coming Monday, but we will be having a session on this Saturday. Okay, I am repeating, we have a session on this Saturday as well as Monday. We don't have any session. If any updates are there in my schedule, I'll let you know. Okay, so that is all about the next session. Tomorrow we have session and we will go. Okay, team. So yesterday I explained you. Okay, I explained. Yeah, I explained how to connect to mainframe server, how to connect to the mainframe server, and how to do log on and log out also. Okay. Any queries before I proceed further, because you would have started doing hands-on? Any queries? Okay, your silence will be considered as no queries, no doubts. Okay, yeah. So we discussed how to connect the mainframe server, log out, log on. Then we discussed PF show on, PF show off, keys, colors. Okay, color. So we have seen these commands. Today we are going to discuss something more. Okay, few more things we are going to discuss. Now I restarted my laptop and I am starting emulator. So I will use Mocha TN3270. Click on continue trial. So this trial version is completed. Okay, the trial version is completed. So I can use only by entering access key. For that, we need to click on continue trial. Click on continue trial. Then you type 137251266. Whatever you are able to see in the temporary key, you will be able to see same thing even in the when you have to enter the same value or below also. Click on OK. For you, since you are doing first time and date, it is 3-4 days back you install, hence you don't get that option to enter the key. Okay, after 30 days you will get that option. Now, so then you need to use this particular file, or you can click on file, connect. Which one you want to connect? I want to connect to TEL Sukesh. So it will be connected to the server. Okay, it will be connected to the server. Now I will type log on. Venkat C is the user ID. Okay, Venkat C is the user ID. As I said, we are having 4 IDs: Venkat A, Venkat B, and Venkat C, Venkat D. Okay, you will belongs to one ID. Okay, for each ID I created a one group. The group I created, okay, for each mainframe ID. So you have to use that ID alone. You cannot use other IDs. Next. So if I did not add you in that group, okay, please ping me so that I can add you in that group. Okay. Now you need to click on log on Venkat C. Hit the enter. So now we are on the password screen. Okay, TSOE and log on. Here we have to enter the password. I'm entering the password. So now I entered the password. You can see what time we logged in. 9:23 according to the server. 9:38 is the current time. So it means 8 minutes back or couple of minutes back somebody logged in. Okay, somebody logged in. Now once you get ready screen, you don't get every time. Okay, if you get ready screen, you have to type ISPF. ISPF stands Interactive System Productivity Facility. To go to the ISPF panel, we use ISPF. Hit the enter and hit the enter. Okay, so that you will be landing on ISPF primary option menu. As I said, as I'm repeating again, this is menu bar. Okay, whatever we type here we call as a command line, and these are all user details. What is the ISPF version we are using, and other details. Okay, what is the terminal, the panel language. It now it is a language English, but if you go to French, you will be seeing the French language text. Okay, so there is local language terminals also there. Don't think that it is always everywhere English. But when we are Indians are using, maximum it will be in English. But here and there, based on the countries, there will be a specific language. I mean, they will use local language here. And these are all the ISPF options at this moment. Okay, we know we can type all these options. I'll do PF show on to display the function keys on the bottom. Now it is a blank. It is a blank. If I type PF show on, we can see bottom the function keys. F1 function key used to help to get the help for any information. If you want any information, any option related information, you use F1. F2 we use for split. Okay, F3 exit if you want to go back to the previous screen. If you want to go back to the previous screen, we use F3. There is F4, F5 not defined, but you will be seeing in real time all F12 function keys from F1, F2 on. F7, F8, backward, forward, swap, F10 actions, F12 cancel. Okay, these values, this text we can change it. Somebody modified, I can see that. I'll take in keys. Yes, fine. If you want to change the values, you can change it. Now, so ISPF panel, let's say I want to type 0. What is it 0? Settings. If you want to do any terminal settings, okay, we can give 0. So on command line, type 0. On command line, type 0. Hit the enter. Yeah, go on mute if there are no queries. Yeah. So now I am on ISPF settings 0. After typing 0, okay, we are on the screen. So now if you want to enable euro symbol, euro sign like dollar sign, Indian rupee sign, if you want to enable euro sign, we will select slash. This, what is the meaning of slash? That is selected. You can see enter slash to select option. Now command line bottom. Now you are seeing command line at the top. How I can see at the bottom instead of top? Just I will say slash. If I say, if I click or if I type slash against command line at bottom, the command line is going to come to the bottom. Hit the enter. Now you can see command line at bottom. Okay, if you want to do this type of changes, we use settings. So press F3 to go back to the previous screen. Now we are on ISPF settings. What is the previous screen? ISPF primary option menu. And I'm pressing F3. This is ISPF primary option menu. On this we discuss 0. 0 means settings, right? I'll repeat again. Type 0 so that you will be navigating to this particular settings screen panel, ISPF settings. You can see on the top. Then there is something called more plus. Okay, top right side you can see more plus. More plus means there is something else in the bottom. Okay, let's say what I do, team, I will type, okay, I will write, mainframe. So when I type, you can see at this moment you are able to see only few things. I will use mouse, page down, page down, page down, right? If you want to see bottom, you will be coming like this. If I want to see the top data, okay, page up, page up, page up, we do. Same thing. More plus means something else is there in the bottom. You need to press F8 function key. F8 function key to see the bottom data. Now F8. Okay, now you can see there is a minus. Minus means you can see the top. Plus means still something else is also there, not ended. This is not end of the screen. Settings F8. You can see settings. So F8. Yeah. Now we can see only the minus. Minus means you can go to the top but not bottom, because if we reach at the bottom, that is the meaning of it. Press F7 to see the top data. F7 is equivalent to page up. F8 is equivalent to page down. Okay, so to see the top data, we use F7. F7, F7. Okay, that is all about F7, F8 function keys. Any queries? Okay, press F3 to go back to the previous screen. Yes, now we are on ISPF primary option now. So we will type 1. Okay, 1 on the command line, or how I can go back to the top again. Either you type 0 or type the command called settings. So how we have these options? We have something called settings. If you type settings, you can see the setting option. The settings command you can type on any screen. Okay, you can type settings command on any screen. Okay, now I will remove slash so that command line will come to the top. Hit the enter, it came to top. So the reason why I did it, because I habituated working with the top option only, top command line. Press F3 to go back to the previous screen. Yes. Okay, any queries from your hands on? Now the next one is a view. What type 1? Press F3. 1 F3. Sorry, 1, hit the enter. You can see view entry panel. Okay, again here also plus is there. Plus is there means something is there in the bottom. Press F8. Press F8. Press F8. Now there is nothing in the bottom. Press F7. Press F7 like that. Okay, so if you want to view the file data, we can use view entry panel. Press F3. Press F3. Once you will come to the back to the previous screen. Okay, if now I will type 9 so that we can see the IBM products. Okay, type 9, hit the enter. Okay, on the screen there is something called Tivoli, scheduler tool, SDF, SDF2. these are all not going to work. Just it is a just headings only. Don't think these are all we can do practice like that. It, okay, these are all will not be supported. Press F3 to go back to the print screen. Similarly, you type M to see more additional products. M, enter. If you want to see, go to the spool, you need to go to SDSF. What is spool? We will discuss later, not now. There is something called file manager. There is something called Ditto. Okay, whichever option you want. Okay, whichever option you want to use, just you have to type that one. I will say 30. I will go to 7. Enter. Okay, now I am on different screen, right? I am on different screen. How I can go back to the previous screen? Again, press F3. F3 is not valid. You can type F12. Okay, F12 is the function key in this occurrence. Yeah. I don't know why it came. Yeah, I'll press F3. Alright. So you have to hit the enter there. Then you have to press F3, which I did not do it. So IBM products panel, whichever if you want to go to there is something called MQ series. Type 12, hit the enter. So it is invalid, but anyhow it is okay. It makes sense. I'll press F3 to go back to the previous screen. I am on ISPF primary menu. Okay, team. So here the intention of this particular last 10 minutes session is the navigation. Okay, how you are navigating from one screen to another screen, how you are coming back. That is I am trying to explain. So what is the outcome? What is the learning from here? How Venkat is moving from one screen to another screen. Yeah, any queries? No. Press F3. Yeah, that's something. Now we will discuss some theoretical concepts. Okay. Now I'll explain. We have something called data set in mainframe technology. Okay. So we have something called Notepad in Windows, right? Notepad like this, right? So in mainframe we have something called data set. Data set can be called as a file. You can call as file. Data set can be called as a file. So what you can store in the data set? Okay, you can store in data set. You can store the programs and users data, load module, and etc. Copybooks, and etc. These are all the things we can store in a data set. Okay, so end users data means okay, insurance data, your policy number, policy type, premium amount, date of birth, all of them. If you talk about account details, account holder name, account holder account ID, mail ID, phone number, balance, type of the account, it is saving account or credit card account, all of them will be there in the end users. I mean, that is called end users data. That particular data you can store in the data set. So in mainframe we can divide the data set here. Data set is divided into two types. Okay, so data set you can divide into two types. One is input, sorry, non-VSAM data set. We have something called non-VSAM data set, and there is something else called VSAM data set. VSAM, non-VSAM data set, VSAM data sets. Non-VSAM data set, we are having something called PS file and PDS. PS stands physical sequential file. PS stands a PS file we call as a physical sequential data set. Okay, we call as a physical sequential data set, or we can call as a sequential file. We can call as a sequential file, or we call as a flat file. People will call, some people will call in your project physical sequential file. Some people will call as a sequential file. Some people will call as a flat file, or we can call as a transaction file. Okay, so that everybody in your team, they might call in a different way, right? Okay, so you can call, somebody ask, hey, please go and refer physical sequential file, then you should know. Somebody ask, hey, when you're working on some assignment, hey, please find this data, whatever data you want, you can find in the flat file. They will say that go to that flat file and refer it. Go to X flat file and refer it. Okay, so that is all about it. So PDS stands partitioned data set. PDS stands partitioned data set. So what is a PDS stands? Partitioned data set. So what is the in PS file team, in PS file we store end users data. So example, insurance data, insurance company customers details, company customers details, are bank customer details, are okay, retail market data. So maximum we use sequential file to store end users data only. We use sequential file to store end users data only, right? Next, PDS. What is the mean of PDS team? Okay, partitioned data set we use to place copybooks. What is copybook? You will come to know eventually later. Copybooks are programs or load modules. So in PDS also you can store the data. Okay, in PDS also you can store the data, but we don't do that. Okay, so we can store end users data, but we don't store because we use PS file to store that. We have an option to do that. Okay, next, that is all about PS and PDS. Next, we have the four types of VSAM datasets. One is KSDS, ESDS, RRDS, LDS. Okay, so just I will mention KSDS, that is key sequence dataset. Okay, KSDS stands key sequence dataset. So KSDS stands key sequence dataset. ESDS stands entry sequence dataset.
According to IBM.
Okay, and ESDS stands entry sequence dataset. RRDS stands relative record dataset. Okay, RRDS stands relative record dataset. So this particular concept we will discuss in VSAM. Okay, this stands linear dataset. Okay, so we will discuss about these all types later. Okay, any queries? Okay, so now I said, okay, we are going to target today non-VSAM files. Okay, so non-VSAM files. Okay, data sets going to resides on tape or dash D. What is tape on dash D? Tape is a storage device. Okay, and dash D also storage device. Okay, data sets resides can reside. It can reside. Data sets can reside on tape or dash D non-VSAM files. So the data can be stored in the tape storage device. Tape is an old storage device. If you remember now, cloud, where you are storing the data nowadays, cloud. Before cloud, we were using hard disk, external hard disk. When there is a huge amount of the data, we used to use external hard disk. Before external hard disk, we were using pen drive to carry the huge amount of the data or small amount of the data. Pen drive, DVD, CD. Okay, DVD, CD, pen drive. So before pen drive, we have some other type of version, right? So we have different storage devices: pen drive, hard disk, external hard disk, CD, DVD, cassette. This type are all storage devices. Similarly, tape is old storage device. Still we are using it, but very less. Dash D is the another storage device type. Both are used, to store the data. Like where is our data is going to store in our laptop hard disk, right? In mainframe we have something called tape or dash D. Okay, any queries? Right. Now, so while you are creating a data set, there are some rules. Okay, there are some rules. Data set name rules. I'll talk about it. So your length of data set name, rule 1. Okay, length of data set name, maximum length. Maximum length of data set name 44 characters. Okay, the length is 44 characters. Right. Then the second one, okay, so minimum is 1 character. Minimum length of data set name 1 character. You can create a data set with 1 character. Nothing is wrong. It is valid. Okay. Next. The third one. The third one. Data set. Data set is divided into qualifiers. Data set name. The data set is divided into qualifiers. The other rule, valid characters in data set name. Okay, so numbers A to Z. Sorry, I'm wrong. 0 to 9 characters A to Z, and we call as a national characters are special characters. There are 3 special characters. Those are all at the rate, yeah, at the rate hash dollar. Okay, these are all valid characters. And yeah, these are all core rules team. Now we have something called qualifier rules also. I'll talk about them in a while. Now, so I will take an example. ABCPQR is a valid dataset name. Okay, it is a valid dataset name. The rule one, it is less. Is it crossing 44? No. Okay, rule one is passed. Minimum length of dataset name. Minimum one is there. Maximum 44. It is a valid. Second rule also satisfied. Dataset name is divided into qualifiers. Okay, so now when your dataset name is more than 8 characters, then we will divide into qualifiers. Okay, when your dataset name is more than 8 characters, you can do even less than also, but ideal case is like this. When your dataset name is more than 8 characters, then we divide into qualifiers. Is that mandatory to always 8 it should cross? No, it can cross, okay, 8 or less than 8. So I am saying standard one, but it can be more than that also. It means even if it is one, you can qualifier length is 1 to 8 characters. Something is there. We'll discuss now. So now in this scenario, in this context, because it is 6 characters, right? A, B, C, P, Q, R. What is the length of the data set name? 6. So third rule is also satisfied. No concerns. Valid characters in data set name. Okay, numbers are not there. It is okay. There is no rule to keep always the number name in the dataset name. No. Characters A to Z. Yes, only A to Z. Do you have any special invalid characters? No. So all the rules are satisfied by this what dataset name. It is a valid. So basically this is valid. Next. So I am going to give MFID 123 PQR. So now you see rule 1, this one is satisfied. Okay, so this is where it is satisfied. So this one is satisfied, right? Next, because it is less than 44, minimum one is there. Yes, it is there. So second rule is also satisfied. Dataset name is divided into qualifiers. Why we have to divide, by the way? When your dataset name, when your dataset name length is 8 less than 8 characters, more than 8 characters. So how many characters are there? MFID 4. So total length of this one is more than 8. So okay, at any cost we have to divide into qualifiers. Now it is invalid. It's invalid. Why it is invalid? Because dataset name is more than 8 characters, not divided into qualifiers. Okay, so your dataset name length invalid. The reason, not divided into qualifiers. I'll take another example. MFID 123 PQR. This is a valid one. This is valid one. Why it is invalid thing? Now I forgot to add this one also. Dot is also allowed. Okay, dot is also allowed because dot is qualifier. It is going to divide into the qualifier. Qualifier, actually it is a qualifier. Uh, Qualifiers are separated by dots only. Next, the rule. Okay. So what is that rule? MFID 123.pqr. It is a valid. So first you count it. What is the length of data set name, guys? What is the length of the data set name?
11 characters, Venkat.
11. Is it rule 1, 2 satisfied or not? Satisfied. Data set divided into qualifiers? Yes. As per the requirement, you can divide into qualifiers, no problem. And 4. So numbers are valid. Okay, makes sense. Characters A to Z is allowed, and numbers are here. It is allowed in this rule, and dot can be used. That is also allowed. Correct. So as simple as it is a valid. So here, how many qualifiers are here? I can say 2. What basis I am saying? Okay, depends on the dot. Okay, depends on the dot. You see, before dot, one is there, one string is there. After dot, there is a string. So we can call as a qualifiers. So this is one qualifier. This is second qualifier, right? So we can say 2 qualifiers. The first qualifier. This is called first qualifier. So this is called high level qualifier. Okay, qualifier or high level qualifier, called as a high level qualifier. The last qualifier is called always low level qualifier. Okay, low level qualifier. Then what is the length of data set name including dot? What is the length of the data set name including dot? MFID 4, 3, 7, 10, 11. You agree with me, team? Including dot. Including dot. 4, 3, 7, 7, 3, 10, 11. Right? Now, so this is an example. Next, okay, I will write MF123 ABC P dot PQR. It is invalid. Why it is invalid? Because qualifier now high level qualifier length is more than 8. So now qualifier rules or member name of PDS rules are both are same. That is the reason I kept member name rules. So each maximum length, okay, length of qualifier 1 to 8 characters. 1 to 8 characters. Maximum length 8, maximum length is 8, minimum 10. Each qualifier should start with a character that is A to Z or special characters. Okay. Now, okay, characters. Each qualifier should start with the character or special characters. Okay, and each qualifier is divided by dot. Okay, and qualifier can have characters, numbers, or special characters. Qualifier can end with the number, character, or special characters. Only the thing is qualifier cannot start with the number. Okay, except that everywhere everything is fine. Any queries, team? Right. Now, so you guys tell me, is it this is a selected one? Is invalid? Any invalid? Now I will give you the more options. I will give the number. Okay, I will give one number so that I can say one is a valid and invalid. Okay, Venkat. Okay, see your data set name need not to start with your main family. Okay, we generally we do it like that, but it is not a rule. Venkat A dot B dot C dot D. Two. Okay, the data set name now here Venkat B dot okay cust dot data. Three. Okay, ash abc dot 123 13. Four abc dot dollar is ab. Five. Okay, mf user dot abc1. Now you see, okay, and read the rules. I will ask you which is a valid, which is invalid. Yeah, so now you gone through the rules, correct? So what is the one? Okay, first data set is a valid or invalid?
Valid.
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 Okay, yes, it is a valid. Okay, I will take with the blue color valid. So two is valid or invalid?
Valid.
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 It's a valid. Three is a valid or invalid?
Invalid.
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 Why it is invalid?
Second qualifier
Invalid.
starts with number.
Starts with number.
Yes. The second qualifier is 1 3 is starting with the number. Okay. So it is invalid. What about 4?
Valid.
Valid.
4 is valid. 4 is valid. What about 5?
Valid.
Valid.
Valid. Okay, team. Yeah, go on mute. Others go on mute. I'm getting some info. Salman, go on mute. Salman, there is a okay background noise. Okay, team. So these are all the rules of the data set name and all. So you should remember them. Okay, you should remember them. So let me copy data set name. All are there in our soft copy material. Yes. Okay, you can. Okay, that's all related to data set name. Now we will see how to create a data set. Okay, we may not discuss everything. Time may not be permitting, but we will try to discuss few options. Okay, first three, how we can create a data set. On ISPF primary option menu, we have to select three. Type 3, hit the enter. On this screen, we need to select 2. Okay, so 2 is the option which will allow us to allocate a data set. I mean, you allocate is nothing but create a data set. Okay, next 2, there is a rename. 2 is a rename. If you want to rename the file name, you can use 2. And delete if you want to delete the existing file. Okay, if you want to delete the existing file, you can use delete. Catalog to see the information of the existing file, you use catalog, uncatalog. This will talk about that later. Display information. Already you created a file. I want to see record length and record format. We have some parameters, we want to see them. Okay, so this is all about second option. What is third? If I select a 3, what I can do? I can copy the data from one file, one data set to another data set, or I can move it. Okay, I can move the data from one data set to another data set. Next, I will type 1 or 2. Type 2 on the command line. Hit the enter. Hit the enter. Now we have something called A, allocate new data set. 2, rename. So earlier we discussed 1, 2, 3 option, right? In the second we can do rename, but among all of them, what you want to do specific now? We are very specific. I'll press F3. If you go to, you can do all these functionalities. Now I am type 2 on command line. Hit the enter. What you can do now? A. If I type A is allocate. A is allocate. Okay, very good, allocating, nice. But what you want to allocate? So you can give the data set name here, the project name, group name, and type of the data set. Okay, you can give data set name in this place, or you can give data set name here within a single quotes or without single quotes. I will tell you both of them. Okay, I don't give single quotes in this occurrence. I will give ABC alone. Hit the enter. By default, your main payment is adding if you don't give single quotes. Okay, by default, dataset name is generating. F3 to go back to the previous screen. I'm not going to create. I'm talking about these rules practically. The rules, whatever I explained, I'll show you practically. Press F3. Okay, now I will give within a single quotes. Your mainframe ID will not come. So you see that prefix is not coming. What is that? Prefix is not coming. So, okay, if you give within a single quotes, if you give the data set name in quotes, it can be single quotes and quotes, then X is not going to add. Right? Press F3, A allocate. In this case, usually what I said in, it is a valid. No, I'm not saying it is invalid. But most of the cases, all our data sets will be along with the mainframe ID or the team or project. Okay, so in our case, you have to use Venkat A or Venkat B, Venkat C, Venkat D as a high level qualifier. That is a mandatory. If you give something else as a high level qualifier, it will be deleted. Okay, always you should give Venkat A, B, C, D. Either high level qualifier, one of them. Whichever ID you are working, you have to give that ID. Now I logged in with Venkat C. I will give Venkat C. Hit the enter. Now I can see the name what I entered. Right? I'll press F3. I'll press F3. Now I will give one here. Enter. Can you see if I give wrong data set name, if you don't follow the data set name rules, then you are getting invalid DSN or qualifier. Invalid DSN qualifier. So I will give ABC dot P dot Q dot R, enter. So data set name I have to give A. See why I am getting data set not catalog? Because I have given the data set name but A is not there. So give A, enter. Now it is a valid data set name. That is the reason we came to this screen. That is the reason system showing going to the next screen. Press F3. Press F3. I will give first like qualifier as symbol. Enter. Sorry, I have to give A. A means allocate. See, okay, as I said, each qualifier can start with the special characters or characters. Sorry, it got allocated somehow. I will delete it. Yeah. Next, it can end with the number, no problem. It can start, qualifier can start with the special character. You see that whatever the name we given, it came as it is. Press F3. Okay, team. So this is all about how we can create a data set. I did not go in depth, as I said, the parameters and all I'll explain tomorrow. I'll press F3 now to go back to the previous screen. Now I am on utility selection panel. Okay, if you ask me, Venkat, did you create any data sets earlier? Let's look into that. For that, we need to type 4. So 4 is the one using 4. Okay, ISPF option. From there I selected 3. That is utilities. On utilities screen, this is utility selection screen. I have to select 4. Type 4, hit the enter. Now you can give the pattern. Okay, Venkat C. What does mean, team? List out all the data sets which are starting with your mainframe ID. Enter. You can see 2 files created when only 4 files are there with this pattern. Now what I do? Press F3. I start. So what does mean? List out all the data sets. List out all the data sets which are starting with our high level qualifier Venkat C. Then second qualifier always should start with the I. So only with those pattern data sets will be displayed. Okay, only one data set. Earlier 3, but now only 1. because only one data set is satisfying that pattern. Is it clear, team? Now press F3. Okay, I will give, okay, Venkat C I have given, right? Now I will give VENK star. So any data set which is starting with the VENK, it will list out, okay, it will list out all of them. Enter to see. So total, row 1 of 42. Okay, total 42 data sets are there with this pattern. Okay, with this pattern, how many data sets are there? 42 are there. So now we are able to see only few of them. If you want to see more data sets, you have to press F8. Press F8. Now we are seeing 16 data set to 42. From which to which? From 16th data set to 42th data set. I'll press F8. F8. F8 means to see the bottom data. F7, okay, to see top data. To see the top data, you have to press F7, right? Press F7 to see the top data. Okay, team? Yeah, so that's all for today, team. We'll see rest of things tomorrow. As I said, we have a session on Saturday. Okay, maximum we may not be having session on coming Monday.